Good morning, my beautiful batty cupcakes. This is the fifth episode of Anti-Cupcakeism. Today we got Hannah. Yeah, she's my, I guess, I don't want to say lead artist around here, but she's the most experienced other than myself around here. Maybe that's not even like, I don't know, really. You've been here the longest.
I've been here the longest, yes.
Yeah. Which is how long exactly?
It's going on 2 years in July.
2 years in July?
It's like 2 or 3.
Yeah? That's pretty cool. So then, like right now would actually be like the anniversary of this shop because I would have been building it a little bit before you came in.
Our grand opening was July 6th.
July 6th, so we're coming right up on it. That's really cool actually because we're going to be camping for our 2-year anniversary in this shop. That's going to be awesome. We're going to have to really try to like blow that up.
We should.
Like some content. So that's why we got Hannah in here today. I kind of wanted to pick her brain and see kind of where we've been at in the last 2 years, what training we've been on. It's been a fun 2 years.
It has. It's been a crazy roller coaster.
Yeah.
Ups and downs.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been I mean, like you said, there's been some dark times. There's also been some light times. I think that over the last 2 years, we've really come a really
in the last 6 months, it's been crazy.
Yeah, and even in the last 6 months, we've really just taken off.
At one point, it was literally just you over there and me right there. The shop was bare bones with just 2 artists, and now we are full.
And it was like only half of the shop was decorated. Like you would come in, everything you see behind us now was not here. It was a blank wall. In fact, it was kind of gross looking because it had been like stuck on so many times and peeled off, and we didn't have anything on it.
Had so many artists come through, decorate, take their shit down, and leave.
Yeah, take their stuff down and leave holes all over the wall. When we first came in, the ceiling was actually white. In fact, I have painted every wall in this shop at this point, including the bathroom. I had to pull sinks out. I have touched every part of this shop. Well, we have touched every part of this shop.
And we're still not done yet.
Still not done. Actually, no, it's still not done. No. That's actually one of the questions I got in here. What would you like to see be done around here in the future? You know, like what?
I eventually want to see the floors.
I know, that's my big next thing. It's so bad. It's so bad. And you can't see it in the camera, but whoever put this tile down, they used like way too much glue or whatever, and now any kind of pressure pushes the glue up through the tiles, and it's just wrecking my station right now. It makes your shoes sticky and everything.
And our floors are clean. They get mopped at least
all the time.
But
we have a cleaning list. They're supposed to be cleaned once a day. I think there's only 5 of us here, so we're missing 2 days. Yeah, but I mean they get cleaned all of the time. I know I want more furniture in here.
I want to get more weird stuff, like my donut stool.
I do too. This is hard to find stuff like that.
I found one that's like the hearts, like sweet hearts.
Yeah.
I almost got that one.
I want a throne.
A throne?
A throne. Like a real, just like creepy-esque.
Like Game of Thrones.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like I would like to have like a table here, like a family-style table, because it's the atmosphere that I would like to have here. With just a massive throne at the end of it.
That would be so
I think that would be awesome. You come in here and we're sitting on this massive throne. Yeah.
I want to talk to the owner. He's over there, like grumpy face, drawing in the fucking throne.
In like a creepy top hat. That would be great. Real quick, I do want to say this video is brought to you today by Mad Rabbit Tattoo Products. What's up, man?
What's up?
Hey, I'm in the middle of a podcast. Yeah, can I get with you later? Yeah, right on. Yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah, I would love to. But we are brought to you today by Mad Rabbit Tattoo Products. I have a promo code that will get you 20% off all products. That is Relentless20 in all caps. Fantastic products. Love this line. This is just the numbing cream. They've also got a lot of balms, a lot of relieving cooling gels. All their products are fantastic. I love all of their products. Relentless, and now I can get you guys 25% off, or not 20% off using promo code Relentless20 in all caps. So make sure you go pick some of this up. We're really, really, really trying to get away from the petroleum jelly-esque aftercare. We need to get away from, I can't say the other brand names, but we need to get away from the A and the other letter one, and then the aqua. We need to get away from those, okay? We really need to start using the balms. They're mostly a beeswax, but they've also got a lot of other good stuff in them. So pick one of those up, and as a consumer, as you guys a consumer, one balm, one stick, one whatever is gonna last you damn near a lifetime. Honestly, like
I've had my soothing gel for like 2 years.
Yeah, and we're tattoo artists with a lot of tattoos on us. For the general consumer who might have like one sleeve or one tattoo or whatever, that's gonna last you so much longer. So pick that up. It's a steal at 20% off. Promo code Relentless20. I'll end up editing it in there, I'm sure.
Up here, over there,
Yeah,
somewhere.
Anyways, all right, back to this. What got you into tattooing?
It's actually a really stupid story.
Yeah.
I've always been artistic, and I love drawing and stuff like that in high school. I was always in art class. But one random, probably Tuesday, I was just on Amazon. It was like, buy this tattoo kit for $40. And I'm like, okay, fine. And then I ended up trying it and actually being really good at it right off the gate. I did my very first tattoo that night that I got the tattoo machine on Thomas, which is my boyfriend. And that's pretty much it.
Does it still look pretty good?
Yeah.
Yeah? Have you had to like work on it since then? No?
It was just an alien head, but I added a body to it and like a little spaceship.
So you added to it?
Yeah, I added to it.
Okay. That's what's up. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I did the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, I mean, I had a little bit of experience, but then ultimately I ended up buying my own thing, you know, and then it just immediately right on it myself.
Yep.
You know?
That's pretty much how it went.
Yeah.
Tried it on fake skin one time, then I'm like, I think I got this.
Yeah, I think I got this, and then immediately just like dig it on myself.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's actually what this is. For me, 18 years old, and just working on myself, and then I started to cover it down here, and then someone walked in, and I never finished it. But yeah, I kind of feel like we all have a story like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we all have this like
spur of the moment.
I bought something I shouldn't have, and did something I shouldn't have.
And now I'm here.
Yeah, now I'm here. You know, and now it turned into something really cool.
Mm-hmm.
What style do you prefer to tattoo?
I prefer more of the girly, kind of like girly girl style. I can do like tribal and stuff like that, but I really focus towards like flowers and butterflies and little fairy houses. I don't know.
And I love that because that's the stuff that I genuinely. It's not that I won't do it, but I don't like doing.
Stuff that requires a lot of line work, because my line work is superb.
Yeah.
That's really my pride in my
tattoo. We got a lot of really good line work artists.
Mm-hmm.
Is Melina? Oh my gosh, we have to talk about that actually. Melina's line work when she first came in, it was questionable.
It was, but now
it is through the roof. Oh my gosh, it's so crisp. Anyways, so yeah, I could agree with that. I feel like you definitely got this like girly kind of yeah.
I mean, I know they can't see my station, but it's literally pink.
It's pink. I have that in here actually. You are the pink girly.
I am.
Yeah, everything's gotta be. I love it though because you also tie it in with black, and so it's like the dark girly.
Yeah, it's like I don't know the word term for it, but it's like a goth, but they just wear pink and bright makeup. Yeah. What's it called? Pastel goth. That's what that is. Yeah.
There's always singing in the background of my podcast. Also over there, and you guys can't see it. Maybe I'll take the opportunity to flip the camera around here a little bit, but or go follow my TikTok. Jumplin's hiding over there. Yeah, Dumpling. Explain Dumpling.
Dumpling is my crested gecko. I've had him for going on a year now.
He's kind of like our shop mascot at this point.
Yeah, he is, and he's really kind of like my co-pilot. I know it sounds weird, but he's my thing I talk to when nobody's here and I'm by myself.
Yeah.
Because I have issues like not having someone to talk to.
He's also a great conversation starter, which I feel like works really, really well for you. Because, like, you're not necessarily, like, the biggest at small talk.
Mm.
And this is definitely one of those areas where you kind of have to do something like that. So him sitting right there, it's always a conversation. I always hear you talking about it. You know, people are always like, oh, what's in there? What's going on? And then that gives you the opportunity to really deep dive into another one of your hobbies that you absolutely love, which is animals.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I have this. If I wasn't being a tattoo artist, I would be something to do with animals.
Yeah.
Whether it be a trainer, a rehabilitator, well, I don't know if I could be a vet, but I'm just that crazy animal lady that someone calls when they need help.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. My dog had gotten some baby coons, and like they had just gotten too close to this little area, and he got a hold of one of them, and I heard it screeching, and I ran out there. He dropped it as soon as I told him to, but then there was another one right up next to my back door, and sure enough, I had to call Hannah. You know, this is like 8 p.m. at night. I have my baby in bed. You know, here's the dog, and now I gotta move these raccoons. And we did too. You got them.
I got both of them, and when I was on my way to his house, just so everyone knows, the mother was dead.
She was.
The mother was dead.
She was roadkill, and 2 babies were running around. They got too close to my dog. It was all bad. But we ended up saving one.
One, yes.
Yeah, we saved the one next to my door, and the one that my dog got along with, he ended up not. But where'd the other one go?
He went to the Wildcat Sanctuary up in Delphi, which she's a super awesome lady. She will take care of any wild animals. I would too if I had the right permits, but she's a super sweet lady, and she does it all on donations, strictly donations. She expects nothing in return, but just a small donation. Be like, hey, just so we can take care of this animal you brought me.
Honestly, we should put something together and try to throw something our way.
We should.
Maybe we should start a GoFundMe and tag it into this.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, I'm here for that. I'm going to do that, actually. We're going to start a GoFundMe for the baby raccoon that we saved in my backyard, and we're going to send it all that direction.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, I'm so here for it.
The baby raccoon's name is Rocket, by the way.
Rocket, yeah. Like Marvel. The Guardians Against the Galaxy. Yeah. I knew it was Marvel.
Guardians Against the Galaxy?
What is it, actually?
I think it's Guardians of the Galaxy.
Of the Galaxy. You might be right. Okay, so what do you want to get into as far as like art, tattoos, different styles? Where's your future going?
I would really like to see myself get into color realism.
Yeah.
I'm really good at drawing it on my iPad, but me venturing from my iPad to human skin is kind of holding me back a little bit, but eventually I would really like to get into something like that.
I think what's gonna need to happen for that to happen is you're gonna need a canvas that's willing and able for you to practice.
I have one off the top of my head. His name is Thomas McCartney.
We gotta talk about Thomas. He's even in here. Okay, we need to. Thomas is your man.
Yes.
Yes. Is there an official label of some sort? Is it boyfriend? Is it fiance? I don't know. Should I not say that?
Don't get me started.
Am I calling him out?
Yes, you are. Me and this man, I know he's gonna fucking watch this because I'm gonna make him.
Yeah.
Me and him have been together for 6 years. We've lived together for 5 years of bliss. I'm doing wifey shit without a wifey label.
She's calling him out. She's calling him out on public.
I'm supposed to tell men that we're married, even though he hasn't put a fucking ring on it yet, babe.
That's fair, if you're gonna say.
He does have valid reason though, but I just have to give him a hard time about it.
Now, we gotta back up a little bit though, because there are some reasonings I do feel like, okay?
There is.
The way you guys got together was unconventional. Yeah, and you guys had to spend some time before anything like that. They're really, really. How old are you now?
I'm 22.
Yeah, so if you start doing that math, they were pretty young when they got together, and and numbers weren't quite the same.
Mm-hmm.
Now what no one would even think of twice of was weird back then.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, but it worked out in your guys' favor.
It did.
Yeah.
And we've been together for a really long time. He's my best friend.
Right. Absolutely. You guys are like the cutest couple in the whole world. If I genuinely would be super heartbroken if anything ever happened to that, because you guys were like my last hope for love, honestly.
A lot of people say that.
Like, honestly. I really. And Thomas is such a great guy. He's kind of like our unlabeled maintenance man around here. He came in and helped paint the ceiling. We had to redo our deck. He helped with that. He completely rewelded
Changed light bulbs.
He's changed light bulbs. He completely rewelded the seat on our bench outside. He's hung up her
my everything over there.
Yeah, her everything, but more importantly, the truck grill that we had to move. So he's hung that up twice. I mean, I personally, for someone that owes me absolutely nothing, cannot appreciate him enough. He is an awesome person. And now we have like this weird romance going on. It's pretty great. Speaking of romance, I wanted to bring this up because there's been a real issue here recently with the creepy people fucking with my girls. Okay? It needs to stop. Like, someone's going to get their ass kicked is what's going to end up happening. And you all are going to have to bail me out of jail. Because I promise you, if you think that I'm not going to throw hands over the girls inside the shop, you are dead freaking wrong. What? I want you to explain what happened at the gas station.
Okay, for starters, I am in a very, very happy relationship. I never put myself out there. Like, I don't wear revealing clothes or anything like that. Like, I'm just Hannah.
Yeah.
And I was, like, wearing, it doesn't really matter what I was wearing.
It doesn't?
But I was at the gas station that is right next door. We all frequently go to this gas station for lunch, for drinks, vice versa. I was in an aisle, and this guy was at an ATM. He just straight up turned around with his phone, lifted it up over the aisle, and started taking pictures of me.
That's so not cool. That's so not cool. You should not be taking pictures of anybody, honestly. Like, I would still feel uncomfortable if someone was taking
I got out of there fast. I immediately called Thomas. I'm like, I don't know what the fuck just happened. Is this dude gonna sell my picture on the black market?
That's so much.
And like I said, I wasn't even wearing anything like revealing. The only thing that you could see was my tattoos.
I know, it's so much stuff. And it's not just you either, it's all of them.
It's everybody in here, yeah.
It's all of them. Like, and there's no reason for that. There really is not. In fact, I think everyone except for Tay is in a committed relationship.
Mm-hmm.
It has been for a little while now. So leave them alone. Alright? Leave them alone. They don't, like, you can be friendly. Come in here and get tattoos and be friendly. We have
Or
plenty
even if they just come up to us and be like, hey, I like your tattoos, instead of being creepy and taking our picture.
Yeah.
Like, I'll talk to you if you come to me. I'm not going to be the first person to say something, because I'm a very quiet person. But if you come up to me, I'll be nice.
We also talk to a lot of people out in public, so sometimes it's just like, a lot of times we're trying to not necessarily avoid it, like if it happens, but also I need to get in, get milk, and get out, so.
The minute someone finds out you're a tattoo artist, it's like, how much would you charge to cover this up? Even a random day, like just trying to have lunch, and someone finds out you're a tattoo artist.
No, there is a flip side to that. Like the other day, again, I was over at the gas station. We're over at that gas station all the time. It's really convenient that it's right there. Mm-hmm. But I was over at the gas station. There's a new young guy that's working over there. You probably know what I'm talking about. No, he was in here earlier, actually. Anyways, he stopped me, and we started talking about tattoos, and he did kind of the same thing. He's like, man, I got all this stuff I need to,
Mm-hmm.
And I took a minute, and I sat and talked to him. And it didn't go anywhere, and then the next day, it's the same thing. And he even, like, was like, hey, will you wait over here for me so I can talk to you about this? You know, and I was immediately like, come on, like, I'm just trying to get out of here.
Mm-hmm.
But today, come in here. He scheduled an appointment, made a deposit, and everything. So, I say all that to, like, try not to be overly, with about it.
I'm not, but
yeah, I know it does get obnoxious. Sometimes it really does. Like sometimes you're just trying to get in and get out, you know. And this person wants to talk to you for 3 hours. I had it again this morning at the gym. Somebody wanted to talk to me for 15 minutes about a tattoo, and I didn't have time. I needed to get my workout done, but that's also how we generate our clientele. Yeah, like you know, we have to talk to people about this stuff. People like seeing us out in public, which is, you know, it's kind of cool. It's a blessing and a curse. Yeah. So again, you consumer, if you see one of us out in public, we would love talking to you. Just keep it short and sweet.
Yes.
Yeah.
I will give you my phone number and message me later.
Yes. We love talking to you. Come say hi, you know, and how are you? And I would like to get a tattoo, but don't keep us too long, you know. Like I'll message you about this tattoo idea that I have later, or I'll give you a call or whatever, you know. Or I'll book it. I'll book online. That's usually the best way to go about doing that. I'll if you really, really, really want to sit down and have a conversation with us about tattoos or about your tattoo, schedule a consultation. Please schedule a consultation, because then we know, hey, I have to be here and do this for that half hour with this person, and I have no problem doing that. All right, but I don't want to have to take that half hour out of the day while I'm trying to grocery shop. Yeah, and that's probably the best way I can explain. You know, I'm okay giving you a half hour of my time. That's perfectly fine. Not in the middle of my grocery shopping trip.
Yeah. And if someone, I have really, really bad anxiety. Everyone in here knows this. If someone approaches me in public, I'm like, already scared of where I'm at.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, you're keeping me in this aisle for 3 or give or take.
I don't even feel like I really struggle necessarily with anxiety, but when people approach me like off out of the blue like that, I'm already like, what do you want from me? You know, like it's just like I don't know, it's just a weird instance.
Which it could be completely innocent. But as someone who hates leaving her house and having to stand in like some random grocery aisle and talk to someone that I've never met before, it freaks me out a little bit.
I think people also have to understand that we're heavily tattooed people, and more often than not, people come up to us just to judge.
Yes.
I can't tell you how many times someone will come up and be like, "You're sinning," or you know, blah 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 blah.
You're going to hell.
Yeah, and so like when people just like come up out of the blue, you really kind of have to like, is this going to be a love or is this going to be a hate kind of deal, you know? And like, so schedule consultations, please just schedule a consultation.
I love it when I'm like walking through the store and someone just randomly, I love your tattoos. Like that makes me feel so nice.
Or if I run into one of my clients out in the open, you know, and they're like, hey, how are you? You know, I'll get a hold of you later about a tattoo.
Yeah,
that's amazing. I love that. And they always do, and I do genuinely love that. And I do try to take time, if I can, to talk to people about their ideas and whatnot and all that. A vibe side of that, what is an absolute do not catch me out in public and then say, hey, will you draw this up for me? Nope, not going to happen. No. And there's reasons. The reason being is because I'm going to spend all that time working on it, and you're never going to get it tattooed. Or you'll end up changing the design 6,000 times before it actually does get tattooed. I'm not doing that. Schedule a consultation. We can come in here, we can pull the image out of your head, get it right, and do what we need to do. But I'm not just going to willy-nilly sit down at home and start drawing your tattoo design. Honestly, 9 times out of 10 I forgot.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could tell me, hey, will you draw this for me? And I'll be like, and it's in one and right out the other.
We have so many people, not even, it's like at least once a week, someone's like, can you draw this design for me? And if I like it, I'll book it. And it's just like,
No, not doing that. Absolutely not. You can come in, schedule a consultation. We can work on it until you like it and I like it. And then we'll book it. You can pay a deposit and we'll do the tattoo. I'm not just willy-nilly drawing a bunch of designs until you like one. It's not going to happen. No. That's my rant.
We get paid for doing the tattoo, not for drawing your tattoo for you to never get it.
Right, yeah. And not to, like I said, you could change that design 3 times and it never actually get tattooed, then now all of a sudden I have 6 hours wrapped up into this, and you're only going to pay me $150. Like, I'm not doing that. Oh, goodness. What was your biggest challenge coming into all of this?
I'm such a people pleaser, and it was really hard for me to learn that I cannot please everyone.
It seems to be the genuine consensus, throughout like all of these podcasts.
Yes.
Because it is. It's really hard to accept that. There's so many people coming in and out, now that we ultimately want everyone to be happy. Don't get me wrong, this is a business. We want everybody to be happy and for them to come back and to keep coming back. But the reality of that is that's just not how it's going to be. Even sometimes when you try your absolute best, it's just not enough for people. Yeah. And I can't tell you, we've talked about it a couple of times, but I feel like the instance with Tommy's and that one lady was probably the best example. To give you guys a feeling, Hannah had done a chest tattoo, and she was very, very early into like a professional setting of this, and she was really kind of struggling with the stretch at that time, and she needed to do a touch up on that particular tattoo, which is fine. That happens all the time. We have no problems doing that. But this particular lady did not, for whatever reason, she did not want to cooperate with getting a touch up. And then she was like trying to run around to all the other shops trying to get somebody else to do this.
And I even gave her money back. I went out of my way to go to her house and give her money back. And the touch-ups are completely free. And at this point, like I said in the previous podcast, I was going to have him help me with it. Because I was still really, really early into, like you said, a professional setting.
And like, it's just the best example that I can kind of think of no matter how far you go, like, sometimes there's no pleasing that person. You can offer them their money back, you can offer them a touch-up, you can, do all this and that, and sometimes they're still just not going to be happy. And it's just, there's nothing you can do about that, honestly. I forgot that you had given her money back. Yeah. And I didn't know that you had to drive it to her.
Yep, I went to her house, and she was like, put it on my porch in the baby stroller or whatever. And I did that because, like I said, I'm such a people pleaser. I just wanted her to not be mad at me.
Right.
And I had done everything that I could, and she still bashed me and other artists on social media.
And now, actually, I love this. It actually makes me so proud. But you did a chest tattoo yesterday.
I did.
You breezed through that like
I
it was
crushed
absolutely
it, yeah.
nothing. Yeah, the line was so crispy. And what's crazy, it was almost even like a very, very similar design. Like you had a redemption shot of that. It was fucking awesome. Yeah, I was so proud of you for that. I was like, hell yeah. I'm trying not to tear up a little bit, honestly. All right, moving on. What would be your biggest, what's your motivator right now? Like me, mine's Triton, like that's my kid, that's my dude. So what is it for you? What's got you just driven?
Me and Thomas getting a house.
I'm here for that.
And if I don't work in, I don't know what to say. What is that word I'm looking for?
Just persevere.
Persevere, yes. If I'm not in here working and making money, there's no chance that me and Thomas would ever get out of his mom's house.
Relentless. That's the word you're looking for. If you're not relentless about it.
And like I said before, I really, really struggle with anxiety. And for some days, I just want to lay in my bed and rot. You know what I mean? I don't want to get up. But being able to come into a space where I feel so comfortable with everyone that I work with, it just kind of, I don't know, it helps me come in here a lot.
For sure. I'm glad that this is a space like that. I feel like it's kind of a safe space for all of us. Yeah. And I love to hear when you guys say that, because I do genuinely try so hard to keep it a safe space for you guys. That's why it does genuinely upset me when people are taking pictures of you guys at the gas station or something like that. It's because I don't want you feeling uncomfortable. That's why you're in here.
But I know if I come back over here and I tell you, you're more than likely to go chase that motherfucker down. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And that's you're like a big brother.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I would have definitely chased that. I would have stole his phone. Sure would have. I'd have stole his phone and waited for the cops to show up. Getting out of I would love for you guys to get out of the house. I really would. I know you guys have been pretty stressed about it for a long time. It's been, years of you guys trying to get out of the house. And I guess we have to disclose the biggest issue is your dog.
My dog.
Yeah, they have a massive dog. And he's a sweetheart. He's the biggest sweetheart, but it's just a massive dog.
And he is a registered service animal, but they told me it didn't matter because of how big and the breed that he is.
Right. So if anyone's watching this and they have a rental and don't mind,
that's not outrageously priced.
Yeah, that too.
I'm not paying $1,000 for a 1-bedroom.
It is a lot. There are a lot of apartments out there like that. Like this rent prices right now is just astronomical. But honestly, I don't know that I would want to own right now. I think the power play right now would be to have a bunch of rentals.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. If you get a bunch of stuff with low mortgage rates.
A private landlord would be awesome.
Yeah.
Someone who I'm not going anywhere without my dog. Anyone who knows me knows how much that dog means to me.
You guys need like a chunk of land or a little trailer or something on it out in the middle of nowhere. Oh. So, I know you don't want to talk about this, but we got kind of mention this a little bit. You're not the biggest fan of driving. No. And there's a reason for that in there. What is it?
There's more than one.
Okay.
So, first and foremost, I have never been the biggest fan of driving. It started in high school, again, when my anxiety started. And it's not just like, oh my god, I'm scared. It's, oh my god, my whole body's going to shut down. I can't think, I'm shaking, I have vertigo, dizzy. It's just the whole 9 yards. So that's not, you don't want to make something like that with driving anyways.
Mm-hmm.
But I have my ups and downs. I have good days and I have really bad days. I'm sure you guys can tell when I'm having a really bad day, I sit over there and I don't say nothing to nobody.
Actually, no. Actually, to be completely honest, you are just so quiet in general. No one knows. No one knows if you're having a good day.
I keep to myself, really.
Yeah, no one knows. Like, sometimes I think that you're having a bad day and you're fine.
Mm-hmm.
And then sometimes I think that you're having a good day and then you're like, not having a good day. So, I genuinely don't know. It's like, I don't know. I do try to check. Periodically. Like,
everybody does. They always, Hannah, are you okay?
Do you get tired of that?
No, it's okay. It actually makes me feel nice because it makes me feel like people care.
That's fair, yeah.
Because I've never really had that before where I come in somewhere and they're like, Hannah, are you okay? What's going on?
That's freaking awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I love that we are such a close-knit group around here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I would hate for that to be any kind of different.
Okay, I guess I should explain why I don't drive. Not only is it the anxiety, but I think it was almost 3 years ago. I was having a really good day, not much anxiety going on, so I was like, I'm going to drive to Wendy's, I think, and get me and Thomas lunch, because I don't do that very often, where I leave by myself and I go get something for me and Thomas. Normally it's him driving me everywhere, which I feel terrible about, by the way. But I was driving to Wendy's and there was these 2 kids walking down the sidewalk, and I was like watching them on peripheral because everyone knows kids are unpredictable. It was a boy and a girl, 6 and 8 years old, walking by themselves down a really busy street. And the minute I look away, I see the little boy shove the little girl into the road right in front of the truck I was driving. And I swerved, but I still clipped her, and she rolled down the side of my truck.
That's crazy. That's crazy. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I hit a child, and that's kind of really stuck with me. And what's messed up about that is that 2 days prior, me and Thomas were talking, if we ever hit a kid, we would never drive again.
That is crazy. I did not know that. Was the kid okay?
The kid was okay. I think she might have had minor cuts and scrapes from where she fell on the concrete. But if I wouldn't have swerved like I did, she would have been dead.
That's terrifying. That's absolutely terrifying. Was there any kind of like cops or anything?
The cops were called, and they just asked me for like my driver's license, asked me how fast I was going and stuff like that. I don't drive very fast at all. I'm that old granny style, like this on the steering wheel, gripping so tight you don't even know what the fuck I'm doing. And I wasn't going very fast. I took my driver's license. The mother is the one that ended up getting in trouble.
Did she get in trouble?
Yes.
Because they were paying attention to the kids.
Their mother lived on like the opposite side of town. The cops had to go beat down her door to find her.
That's insane. So they'd been running amok through town.
Yep.
And then this little boy just shoved her out the road.
Yeah, I was watching. It looked like he said go and just straight up shoved her in front of my truck.
That's crazy. Dang. And then we mounted the head of you and Thomas's car accident.
Yes.
Onto the shop wall.
Mm-hmm.
So that's actually what the grill is. You guys can see it. But the grill, it's a Suburban grill.
Yeah, it's from a 1995 Suburban.
You guys got T-boned in that, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty crazy.
And I truly believe if we were not in that solid steel big ass Suburban, it would have been a lot worse.
Oh yeah, if you'd have been in like a little tiny Honda Civic or something, oh gosh, that would have been a nightmare.
This lady hit us so hard in this, like I said, solid steel Suburban, it bent the frame like a banana.
Now listen here, okay? I've seen enough of Thomas's Suburban frames to know that they're usually bananas.
No. Not this one. You're thinking about the red one. This one we had just bought it. We hadn't even had it for a year yet, and it was like mint. You didn't even get to see the black one. It was really, really nice.
That's upsetting. That really is. I hate to see a nice Chevy truck just get demolished.
Mm-hmm.
That's not good. What? There's so many of these, right? There really is. But what are some common misconceptions within our industry that you would like to bring light to?
We do not just sit and draw on people all day. It is a lot more than just sitting down and scribbling something into someone's skin. It takes skill to be able to do what we do.
There's so much more.
If you give a random Joe on the street a tattoo machine and say, do this, it's going to look like fucking shit.
I will actively admit that physically being inside the shop and tattooing on somebody is not 40 hours a week.
No.
I would say it's probably like 20.
20.
Yeah. But there is so much answering the phone, social media, drawing. Then you need to work on other things outside of tattooing that are going to help you make money, such as maybe merch or other forms of passive income. Because ultimately, the way I like to think about it is ultimately there is kind of a market cap for tattooing if you're going to be honest about what you're doing. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because eventually it feels you feel kind of guilty charging someone too much for a day session.
And a lot of the time we will undercharge ourselves.
Yeah, for sure. So it's like either you start charging people astronomical prices, or you get stuck making a certain amount for the rest of your life. So then you have to kind of venture out into other forms of businesses. Mm-hmm. Yeah, trying to make other forms of income, and ambassadorships. Or I know you had been trying to write some books. Yeah, stuff like that. So, and I love that. I would think that would be great. Mm-hmm. I would love to have a bunch of.
It's really expensive to publish a book. Let me just put that out there. Yeah, it's crazy.
Just come in here and buy a bunch of tattoos.
Yeah.
I think it would be awesome. I think it would be cool to have like a little section of published author handwritten books. Mm. And I fully support that. I'd give you a little bookshelf and everything. I'm so here for that. If I could point out any common misconception, it's that touch-ups are way more often common than they are, actually. I think people get caught up on the fact that it hurts, and I understand that it hurts and that you only want to have to go through it one time, but the reality is that's not how any form of art actually works. If you were to do a picture drawing, you're going to come back to that probably more than once. If you're going to do a painting on a canvas, you're going to have to come back through and find light spots and touch those up. Any form of art. If I were to paint this wall behind us, I would have to go through and touch up spots. So I just think that people need to be understanding of that. I also think that tattoo artists should not be charging for that. Now that being said, if your artist is working with you and doing their touch-ups for free and yada yada yada, it is a common courtesy as you, the client, to then tip said tattoo artist for taking care of you. Yeah, that is how it is.
You come in for a free touch-up. We're still using our supplies. That money comes out of our pocket to buy all of our supplies, and we're using needles that you're not gonna. Yeah. You're not really paying for it, but
and it's still time that we had to take out of our day. Now we do it for free because we want you to come back and get it done. I'm not going to charge you for that. And if you don't tip me, then ultimately I'm not going to, I'm not ever going to say nothing. I'm not.
It is nice. It is appreciative.
I wouldn't prevent, you from getting another appointment or anything.
Right.
I wouldn't hold it against you, but it is a nice courtesy to tip your tattoo artist, especially if they're giving you a free touch-up. You should tip them after every appointment, to be completely honest, but if they're going to give you a touch-up, you should definitely tip them. Now, if they're charging you for a touch-up, then go find a new tattoo artist. Honestly. Alright. I asked you earlier so you can think about it. Alright, it's this one. Do you have your own form of anti-cupcakeism?
I do, and I put it in my notes so I wouldn't forget.
Okay, I'm here for it. I'm so here for it. I would have had to do the same thing.
Try being positive for one day. Worst case scenario is that you will hate it, and you will just return back to your regularly scheduled doom.
Yeah, you have nothing to lose. Yeah. But I think you could almost take that a step farther, and then it's like start over every day.
Mm-hmm. Every day is a new day.
Yeah, it's like try to be positive for just one day, and then wake up the next day and do it again.
Mm-hmm.
And just be positive. Just try to slam people with the utmost positivity, and then it honestly shuts people up too. It's really hard for someone to hate on you when you're out there just spreading the love. Yeah, spread the love all over the place, and then people can't really talk shit. I do like that. Just be positive.
It's really not that hard. You don't have to be negative about every aspect of everything.
I couldn't imagine going through life like that. That would be so depressing.
Being grumpy all the time. I'm a very bubbly, I wouldn't say I'm an outgoing person because I'm a very enclosed person. But
I think sometimes people get so unhappy with their lives that everything just becomes negative.
Mm-hmm.
Like they get stuck in their 9 to 5 with a spouse that they don't want to be with. It's like they're too scared to make any kind of a change, so they're just going to take all the negativity and show it off onto everybody else.
Absolutely.
That's genuinely how I kind of see people too. If they're being just rude and not fun to be around all the time, and it's usually like, well, what's going on in their life? There's something going on in their life. I'm not justifying what they're doing. I'm still going to tell them to go get fucked. But, I also want to take the minute and understand the compassion behind it and what's going on with it. Maybe I can take the opportunity to help. Maybe it's something small that I can help and try to help with. But a lot of times it's not. A lot of times it's people being unwilling to do self-improvement. Yeah, it all boils down to self-improvement and people just not wanting to do it. They don't want to dive deep down inside themselves and then have to try to correct things or do things better because it hurts. It's hard. It's not fun. I think people want to stay in their little comfort zones all too often. That would be my anti-cupcakeism, is do not get stuck in a comfort zone. I call that stagnant water. when you sit in your comfort zone, you don't do anything, you don't do any self-improvement, you don't go do nothing. Oh. I call that stagnant water. It's not going to help. That is not going to help. It actually makes it worse. Think about it this way: they tell you all the time, like, don't drink from stagnant water. Yeah, because it'll make you sick. Yeah. So if you become a stagnant water, it'll make you sick. You're not gonna be able to do nothing. They say that if you don't take the time now to do the things that you need to do to take care of yourself, that your body's going to make you take the time later in life. And I think that's kind of crazy. That sounds very fitnessy, but I think it also applies to mental or financial or even spiritual. Like you have to take that time to develop those skills now, or life is going to make you later in life. Yeah, you'll be on your deathbed trying to read the Bible, and all of a sudden quit smoking and doing all this. I need to make all these life changes because all of a sudden I'm 45 and I have cancer, whereas you should have been taking care of all of those things your whole life. Yeah. So don't be stagnant water. Don't be comfortable. Always try to be self-improving. It's hard. It's not easy. You got to do some inner looking. Figure out what the problems are and really be open with yourself about what the problems are, and then go address those problems and be just constantly going, trying to grab the next level, and just progress as a person. That timer that went off earlier was our 45-minute mark, which means we do need to be wrapping this up. Real quick, I want to again say this video is brought to you by Mad Rabbit. I have a promo code that is Relentless20 at madrabbit.com. It works for all products, 20% off. This is the numbing cream. They have a lot of balms, they have a lot of soothing gels. They have sunscreen. They have daily moisturizing. I think they have soap. Lotion. Yeah, they have soap. I think I saw that they have shampoo and conditioner. I think so. Yeah, I don't know why you would need shampoo and conditioner from a tattoo product company. I'm here for it. Whatever. I bet it smells delicious. I know the numbing cream does not smell delicious, but the balm smells pretty good. Yeah, it does, like coconut vanilla. Yeah, the balm smells pretty good. The numbing cream smells like menthol because it's a menthol numbing cream. The lidocaine in it? Yeah, and the lidocaine. So, yeah, go pick some of that up. madrabbit.com. Use promo code Relentless20 in all caps. That'll get you 20% off. It's good stuff. I do love it. All right. Thank you guys for watching this. If you've made it this far, please make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. That helps us out a lot. Really try to push this. Share this video to all your friends. That would be really cool too. Thank you, Hannah, for everything that you do, for being here for the last 2 years. I don't know where I would be without you, to be completely honest. This place would be a nightmare. I'd probably be back in the studio somewhere, just doing my own thing. While you're sitting here, while we're kind of on camera, I wanted to tell you that there's a real works of a second location coming up. So we're going to probably be bringing some people in and trying to train them on that. Okay. Yeah. And it kind of worked out here kind of weird. I don't want to get too far into it because we are on camera. I'll tell you more about it later. But weirdly enough, and I didn't see this coming, but we're going to do a second location right here. Really? Yeah. Okay. So stay tuned for that. Yeah, it's going to be pretty cool. I'm really excited about it. You're keeping me here though, right? Huh? You keeping me here? Yeah, I'm keeping you here. Yeah, you have to stay here because I'm going to be a chicken with my head cut off running around and make everything happen. So, yeah, you're going to be here and kind of here just to answer all the questions and whatnot. But yeah, I'm actually really excited about it. I don't have all the final details, but I definitely think that it's going to work out pretty cool and be a big extension of Relentless. Yeah. So, all right. Again, thank you guys. Thanks, Hannah. Yeah. This is episode 5. Tune in next week. We're doing this every Friday, and if this is not proof that we've been doing this for a month and a week now. We're going to be super consistent with it. I want to see this pop off. This is my long form content. This is what is explaining us. This is what's explaining the shop. This is explaining what I'm trying to do. This is what's shutting up all the cupcakes. This is the stuff that I really need out there. All this other long, short form TikToks and all the shorts and all that, I really don't care about that. If you haven't seen them, go watch them. They're really funny. I try to make them funny. But this is what I ultimately want you guys watching. So thank you again. Please share this. Subscribe, like it, all the good stuff. Bye, guys.